Roy, very difficult to walk off after 90 minutes of that with absolutely nothing, because that was really hard on you.
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I think it's not the first time in recent weeks that we've come across the top teams in the league and, given them more than a good game. I think on all three of the occasions here at Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park against the Tottenham, Man United and Liverpool, we deserved something from the game, that's for sure. I thought our second half performance in particular was good. Strange enough, that's the time when they scored their 2 goals, when they had a bit more of the ball and we had to work very hard defensively to get behind the ball and remain compact. They actually didn't score in that period of time. But really throughout the game, if you look at over the 95 or 96 minutes, our goalkeeper wasn't under enormous pressure and our back four dealt for the best part with what Liverpool had to come with. But, right at the end, a chance falls Salah's way. It was a good piece of play on his part to fool Sakho there, and Sakho had dived to block his obviously left foot shot and he let the ball run across his body. And I suppose that's why he's a top goal scorer in the league and why they're near the top of the league, because we ourselves in the second half created a couple of very good chances and I thought put their back four, if not to the sword. We asked them a lot of questions.
Christian Benteke had a big hand in the move that led to the penalty, of course, winning the flick on. He did that several times. Liverpool found him hard to deal with. There was some good defensive work from Benteke as well, but ultimately he's a striker who gets judged by goals, and he missed 2 great chances.
He did, of course. I thought, once again, his all-round performance was very good. I thought it was extremely good up until the 2 missed goal chances. I think that obviously affected him. I didn't think that his work after that was quite as good as it had been in the previous minutes, because they're human beings. I mean, he so desperately wants to score. He so desperately wants to do well. He's working so hard to be the type of centre forward we want him to be. But you could obviously see that when those 2 chances came his way and he couldn't take them, it did have a mental effect on him. And it's up to me and the coaching staff and the other players to make it clear to him that we're really very pleased with what he's doing, and he's actually being a very good centre forward for us at the moment, and we can only hope that he doesn't allow a missed goal chance or 2 to really affect what he can do for us for the rest of the game.
And I know from the dugout you're probably not aware of the crowd, and I'm pretty sure that when you're a player you're not that aware of the crowd, but there was a kind of collective sort of groan when the second chance was missed, and that if he's aware of that, I'm not sure he would be, but if he is, that'd be tough.
I'm pretty sure he is. I mean, I don't, even we are aware of it, because of course the crowd, they're supporters and fans like we are in the dugout. You always hope that when a chance comes your team's way, it's going to be taken. And especially for us at the moment in our situation, and especially when you're playing against Liverpool. To be fair, they have some very talented, very expensively assembled players. They're in very good form. When you create chances against them, you really do need to take them. But we didn't, and we made a couple of mistakes for the goals, and at the end of the day they go away with the points and the victory, and we suffer the defeat. But we've just got to pick ourselves once again up off the ground and try and make certain that we don't allow it to affect our confidence, because I don't believe the players should be suffering from a lack of confidence. I think they should actually be feeling quite good about the way they're defending, about the way they're attacking. And if we can continue doing that for 6 more games, I'm sure that the points will come. We won't be as, if unlucky is the right word, we certainly won't be punished as much for very few mistakes as we've been in the last few games at home here.
I've never known a manager quite rightly say that he likes the look of the games ahead, because your toughest game is always the next one, I suppose. But on paper, Roy, it's a reasonably favourable run-in.
You don't play on paper though, do you? You play against other teams, and the teams we play against will be every bit as determined to win the game as we are. They'll work as hard as we do. They'll be physically as good as we are, and they'll have good players too. It's not just Liverpool and the other top teams that have the monopoly on top players. In the Premier League, there's good players in every team. We've got good players here ourselves. So I don't subscribe to that theory that, okay, you've got the top 4 out of the way and now life will be easier. It won't be. We had to work very hard last week to get our result against Huddersfield and played very well in that game. We've got to reproduce those performances in the next 6 games and then hope that if there's any fortune going, it will come our way, because I don't think we can regard ourselves as a lucky team this year.
Finally, Roy, I mean, there's nothing a supporter loves more than a young local boy making an impact on the team. And I've just been speaking to a guy I'd not seen him before live, and was very impressed. Aaron Wan-Bissaka looks a real prospect.
Absolutely, and he's another one. He's got to make certain that if he makes an error or two, as he's going to do, that doesn't affect him. It did for a short period in the second half. I thought after their equalising goal, where he obviously felt he could have done a bit better. But that affected him, I thought, for 10 or 15 minutes. You could sort of see, but he came over that very well and got back to being the Aaron Bissaka that he's been for us in these last few games. And the only reason I changed him towards the end, because in Fosu Mensah we have a player who's very strong, very powerful, very quick. I thought with them tiring and with us having quite a lot of the ball, he might get forward a bit more and cause a few more problems in their penalty area. But Aaron can once again be very happy with his performance.